At first glance, this boat appears to be nothing more than a child's toy. However, upon closer examination, it is quite familiar. 'Tis the faithful Argo. His hand shaking, Argonus moves the model of his father's ship from shallow waters to the beach surrounding it. Made of obsidian, this stone is not only smooth, but warm to the touch. If the size of this gold-tipped horn is indicative of the animal from whence it came, the beast must have been enormous indeed. Argonus presses his lips to the horn. While impressive, the deep sound fails to draw out that of which Euryale spoke. After a moment of concentration, Argonus unleashes the daimon's power upon the stone minotaur. The beast crumbles to the ground, its soul never again to maunder dark corridors. The rock in the center of this room has seen the work of a chisel. as if prepared to be a support or stand. The oil takes a moment before catching, begetting a fine fire. Argonus lifts the bronze cog, securing it firmly within the machinery. Argonus pulls the wooden handle, and with a groan of protest, the platform beneath his feet begins to move.
Fair Athena, I have returned. Reveal yourself to me, as your servant awaits.
I am here, Perseus. Do not be afraid. Did you accomplish the task I set before you?
I have, my lady. The Grey Eye revealed the location of Hera's nymphs, who in turn provided me with the sack you see before you.
And what of the other labors?
I have fulfilled them as well. Winged sandals from Hermes, a dark helm from Hades, and from your father, a great sword.
Well done, Perseus. But even all of this will not be sufficient to cleave Medusa's head from her shoulders. A final gift, a polished shield of gold. Use it wisely, else the Gorgon's gaze shall be your downfall. Now go, my warrior, and finish it. Entranced, Argonus moves unconsciously forward, drawn to the lilting sound of the siren's call. As feet sink into the wet sand, a familiar voice rises above the haunting aria. It speaks to him as a lover might. Hold, my sailor. Go no further. Argonus is knocked to the earth as a rift opens in the sky, and a goddess once again steps into his mortal world, blocking the path ahead. The beckoning ballad momentarily fades from his ears, only to be replaced by Athena's words of quiet rebuke. Argonus, she says, shaking her head, her eyes kind. Is this what fair Athena has become? A map-maker's keeper? A deliverer of historians? You, of all men, know that no living creature can resist the web that the daughters of Achelous spin. The siren's song would surely lead you to ruin. For your sake, and that of your countrymen, I simply cannot let you pass. And with that, Athena, the goddess of reason, becomes a silent sentinel before a stunned sailor of the Argo. Argonus pulls the wooden handle, and with a groan of protest, the platform beneath his feet begins to move. The torchlit flame generates a small amount of heat, but offers little comfort to the wayward sailor. Argonus feels the power of the daimon leave him and enter that of his friend. In mere moments, the statue fails, releasing its stone grip on the man's soul. Unearthly power surges from Argonus's disfigured hand and into the statue. As it breaks apart and falls, the soul of the poor individual quickly departs this mortal world. Unearthly power surges from Argonus's disfigured hand and into the statue. As it breaks apart and falls, the soul of the poor individual quickly departs this mortal world. Under his breath, Argonus mutters a prayer to Hades as the diamond's gift destroys the stone statue. Argonus is unsurprised when the sculpture of Apollo stirs. After all, he has come to expect such things upon this enchanted isle. What does startle him, however, is how casually the son of Zeus dismisses him out of hand.
How is it that a mere sailor may enter my temple and approach Apollo in such a manner, his hands empty of tribute, no song upon his lips?
The god's voice becomes despondent.
Look about you. All things have been diminished. This sanctuary, once full of music, is now naught but a tomb of silence. I sense that you would require something of me, yet you, a scholar, do not bring me the very thing which my heart desires.
Before Argonus can utter a word, the god of music turns away from him, but not before laying a pledge upon the sailor's shoulders.
Return with an offering worthy of one such as I, and the light of Apollo may yet shine upon you.
As soon as the oil catches, shadows begin a mesmerizing dance upon the stone walls.
I'm a fool, wandering in a desert, muttering words of salvation and revenge through parched lips. Blindly I flailed about, searching for the blight that has overcome so many, and while each piece of the puzzle led me to water, I simply refused to drink. The Lord Poseidon himself revealed the first, when he spoke of the son of Danae and of Zeus. And while I knew this to be Perseus, I failed to recognize Poseidon's anguish was not bound to the death of his servants, but rather his lover, Medusa. Then the twin Gorgons, whom I had seen in a great vision, while protected from the effects of their dreadful gaze by the eye of the Grey Eye. Did repentant Euryale not say that she wished to mourn her sister in peace? It is now obvious that she spoke of dread Medusa, a woman that legend reveals fair Athena once cursed to wear a brow of vipers and turn men to stone. The goddess herself, when first met, readily admitted her hand stirred the waters of spite and vengeance. Now I see clearly that this sailor must do more than prevent the death of his shipmates. I must stop this dread ripple from becoming such a great wave as to pour unhindered from Hades' realm and drown all I hold dear. Let it be known that while I did not sail with the Phoenician prince Cadmus, I knew one other who sowed the teeth of a dragon. Jason, hero of the Argo and burglar of the Golden Fleece. At a shallow fount, tall stones set about, and a great tree at its head, I stood, the teeth of the mighty Hydra within my palm. With the goddess's words in my ears, I raised my hand and cast my prize into the shallow waters. I thought myself prepared, yet amazement and fear welled within my breast, gripping my heart. Skeletal foot soldiers, their polished shields bearing the Hydra's mark, rose from the earth and looked to the trees, whose great boughs bore the weight of the Harpies, foul beasts who desecrate and destroy. But they were no match for the children of the Hydra. With sword and spear, the dogs of Zeus were driven from the fair glade and into gray skies high above. And so, by my hand, the grove of the goddess Hera was made pure once again. Blessed are those who chance upon this manuscript, only to marvel, perhaps in disbelief, that a goddess appeared, let alone spoke, to a simple sailor. Whether for grandiosity or merciful boon, fair Athena has once again brought me from certain harm. Yet this time it was not from deep water's grasp that she pulled a drowning man. This peril moved quickly, set high upon slithering tails. 'Tis true, for I have beheld such. And what wisdom flowed from the lips of the goddess, parting to mortal man? Admonishment? Pity? No, naught but hope. Upon each honeyed word I clung, drawn to them as a moth to a distant light within a dark wood. Then a covenant was struck between fair Athena and this sailor. Find my stalwart companions, those who yet live and are scattered upon these shores. And though horrors surely await, she will lead us down gentle paths to a waiting boat and safe passage from this isle. Not once, either within dream or vision, did this sailor of broad seas and salted winds foresee such a thing. Under a foreboding sky, my burdens were lifted for a heartbeat, carried aloft upon snow-white wings. Though his form I had never before beheld, nor was the beast yet ascribed to legend, a name entered my mind. Whether granted by god or goddess, I know not. Only a name, Pegasus. But should I find such soundless words curious? No, for this isle does not keep its secrets close, but displays them in such a fashion to make my forebears weep with envy. Upon these white sands, and beneath its dark shadows, wonders both fair and foul are commonplace, each fighting to fetter my heart with chains of great hope or utter despair. Shall either exalt and triumph? This I cannot say, for while I soar above gray clouds on one glorious winged stallion, there are a score of dead men below, pulling at my soul, crying out for vengeance. May these words recount the strength